I'm joined by Richard Champion. He's head of equities at Principal Investment Management, which holds shares in Tesco. Good morning.
Morning.
The kind of the Tesco's finest range and their champagnes are driving profits. Is that what you were expecting?
Well, there seems to be some indication from other retailers that the UK consumer has rather enjoyed themselves over Christmas, having had a pretty miserable year.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's not. And of course, in champagne specifically, which, as you said, Tesco's showed 35% increase in sales, we have had sharp falls in price, of course, which has helped that move.
So consumers deciding to stay in and possibly go to Tesco but still buy their champagne. Also the club card, if people who are more conscious of their purse strings this Christmas decided perhaps that doubling those club card was a very good way to lure them into the store.
Well, the timing seems to have been very good with the club card promotion, and of course we mustn't forget that even excluding the club card promotion, the underlying sales growth was better than expected. So nonetheless, that has been a good help for them. Yeah.
No, Tesco obviously promoting that very hard. Is there any danger that this is actually going to, in the long term, affect their growth strategy?
It's only part of the overall strategy they have in terms of price promotion, and of course the whole sector is encountering very, very strong investment in price initiatives. And of course, as well as that, we've also got the potential for increases in food prices coming through due to the current cold weather. So it'll be an interesting few months going forward as those issues develop.
Now, in terms of the international profits, those have been driven in part by the weakness of sterling. Is there also a danger that they won't hold up longer term?
I think the international story is one of the interesting growth areas of Tesco. I mean, clearly you've got an emerging markets angle in the Far East, and the US, where we had a bit of a relaunch earlier in the year, seems to be gaining some traction now. And I think the company themselves have mentioned that they saw some signs of the green shoots in coastal California, for example. So I think the international side is something we shouldn't be afraid of in Tesco's case.
How is the US doing? What about Fresh and Easy? How's that going?
Well, Fresh and Easy had a perhaps slightly checkered start from Tesco's perspective, but I think the introduction of the new ranges that they have in terms of more ready-to-go food has started to turn things around. And of course, it is in the build-out phase, and it is early days for Tesco there. And I think that there are good potential there. There is good potential there.
Before we go, what about the non-retail side of the business, mobile phones, finance?
Yes, indeed. I mean, in the autumn, Tesco had a big presentation to analysts covering this area, and they mentioned a medium-term profits target of 1 billion sterling for this area, driven, as you say, by banking, insurance, mobile phones, but also by the catalogue and by direct and internet sales, and all those areas to me feel the kind of areas where Tesco can leverage their expertise, particularly in data mining through their club card.
Richard, thank you very much indeed.
It's a pleasure.